Chapter 5. Jesus Christ is born. There was once a nation which was very powerful, very fortunate, and very proud. Its lands were fruitful and its armies were victorious in battle. The nation had strong kings, wise lawgivers, and great poets. But, after a great many years, everything changed. The nation had no more strong kings or wise lawgivers. Its armies were beaten in battles, and neighboring tribes conquered the country and took the fruitful lands. There were no more poets except a few who made songs of lamentation. The people had become captive and were humiliated. The most bitter part of all this was that its sadness was a memory of past greatness. But, in all the years of failure and humiliation, there was one thing which kept these people from despair. Hope lived in their hearts and kept them from utter misery. It was a hope which came from something one of the great poets of the past had said in prophecy. This prophecy was whispered in the homes of the poor, taught in the churches, repeated from father to son among the rich. It was like a deep, hidden well of comfort in a desert of suffering. The prophecy said that someday a deliverer would be born for the nation, a new king even stronger than the old ones. He would be mighty enough to conquer the nation's enemies, set the nation free, and bring back the splendid days of old. This was the hope and expectation all the people looked for. They waited through the years for the prophecy to come true. In this nation, in a little country town, lived a man and a woman whose names were Joseph and Mary. And it happened, one year, that they had to take a little journey up to the town, which was the nearest tax center, to have their names put on the census list because that was a custom in the country. But, when they got to the town, so many other people were there for the census. As the town was small, every place was crowded. There was no room for them at the inn. Finally, the innkeeper said that they can sleep in the stable on the straw. So, they spent their night there. And while they were there, in the stable, their first child was born to them, a little son. And because there was no cradle to put him in, the mother made a little warm nest of the hay in the big wooden manger where the oxen had it in, and wrapped the baby in swaddling clothes, and laid him in the manger, for a bed. That same night, on the hills outside the town, some shepherds were keeping their flocks through the darkness. They were tired with watching over the sheep and sat about drowsily, talking and watching the stars. As they watched, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared before them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them. The shepherds were sore afraid. But the angel said to them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be for everyone. And this shall be a sign for you, you shall find the baby, wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in the manger. Suddenly, many more angels appeared, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on the earth peace, goodwill towards men. When the angels went up into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, Let us go to Bethlehem, and find the baby. They came with haste and after searching, found Mary and Joseph, and the baby lying in a manger. When they saw him in the manger, they knew that the wonderful thing the angel said had really happened, and that the great deliverer was born at last.